You're probably going to jail when they start throwing that word right
as they should.
But we'll see what happens.
Hell, if you walked in a room and saw Diddy in there smashing Carl Winslow, allegedly.
What?
If you were walking in Diddy neighborhood, you should be put to jail. What are you doing in that neighborhood?
Sean Diddy Combs' arrest on September 16, 2024 sent shockwaves through Hollywood, uncovering years of misconduct, coercion, and kidnapping. Celebrities are now speaking out, and in this video, we reveal 5 stars sharing their thoughts on Diddy's shocking downfall.
To kick it, like, we could just hang out. Why don't we, like, go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just say? It's just shit that goes off. Because you're a little fruit pie.
50 Cent has always trolled P. Diddy for the longest time over his controversial actions and activities. The G Unit has always expressed his disdain and concern over how P. Diddy didn't respect other people's boundaries and made uncomfortable propositions to them. Sean Diddy Combs has been repeatedly accused of inappropriate behavior and extreme sex romps that have been dubbed the name freak-offs. Before his arrest, there were rumors and controversial evidence that Diddy was always looking to get other celebrities involved in these drug-induced freak-offs. 50 Cent was among the celebrities who suggested that Diddy may have propositioned him for something like that. 50 Cent has a vibrant history of taking jabs at the music mogul, and the beef between the two men goes back as far as 2006. 50 Cent took a jab at Diddy in the track The Bomb, suggesting that he had murdered Biggie Smalls, another big-shot rapper who got on the wrong side of P. Diddy. 50 Cent was vocal about his accusations about the people he claimed P. Diddy murdered. In 2016, after Murder Rap, the documentary on Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls' assassinations was aired, 50 Cent wrote in a now-deleted post that he had to go to therapy because the things that he said about P. Diddy messed him up. He claimed that he probably told them because he knew that P. Diddy got Tupac Shakur killed.
To kick it, like, we could just hang out. Why don't we, like, go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just say? It's just shit that goes off. Because you're a little fruit pie.
In 2020, 50 Cent was once again vocal about his disdain for Diddy because he claimed that Diddy had offered to take him shopping. According to 50 Cent, this was something that a man said to a woman he was interested in, not to a fellow man. This led 50 Cent to call P. Diddy fruity, which is another term for gay. After the footage showing P. Diddy attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura was released, 50 Cent mocked P. Diddy. In a quote on X, he wrote sarcastically, "Now I'm sure Puffy didn't do it. He is innocent. This proves nothing. This is what his lawyers are gonna say. God help us all." 50 Cent didn't stop mocking P. Diddy, and when the music mogul was arrested, fans expected 50 Cent to have something to say about it. Sure enough, not long after, 50 Cent posted a photo on Instagram, and the caption referenced details surrounding P. Diddy's arrest. After the Department of Homeland Security raided Sean Combs' house, they found unusual items that seemed to back the accusations of sexual abuse that had been leveled against him. Among these items were more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. In a reference to this discovery, 50 Cent made a snide comment about how he couldn't be caught doing the same. He posted a picture of him and Drew Barrymore after he appeared on her show with the caption, "Here I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house." 50 Cent has not made any other direct references to the music mogul's arrest, but the same cannot be said of another celebrity who had been a victim of P. Diddy's abuse, Dawn Richard.
Sometimes she objected, she tried to intervene. I mean, this was something that repeatedly, unfortunately, she was a part of.
A few weeks after Sean Combs' house was raided, a new lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault, battery, and abuse joined the long list of lawsuits he had been slammed with. The plaintiff this time was Dawn Richard. Dawn was a member of the girl group that was managed by P. Diddy, Danity Kane. The singer accused P. Diddy of inappropriate conduct. She alleged that at the time that she worked for him, she was mistreated, that Diddy deprived her of food and sleep, and also refused to pay her according to her workload. Richard started working for Diddy in 2004, and during that period, she and many other women around her were repeatedly insulted and called names, like fat, ugly bitch. She also said that she and her bandmates were sleep deprived because they were forced to work up to 48 hours without sleep or rest. Under Sean Combs' direction, Richard and members of Danity Kane were so overworked that they began to lose unhealthy amounts of weight and developed health conditions from the toxic environment. Richard claimed that she was diagnosed with anemia and arthralgia, which was caused by overuse, sprains, and infections. She also accused him of sexual assault, saying that he would come into her dressing room unannounced, grope her, and touch her breasts, indicating to the stylist where her outfits were allowed to sit. Dawn Richard was repeatedly threatened with her career and money if she tried to retaliate. In the end, she wasn't paid for her work and decided to sue for damages of up to $1.2 million.
She objected. She tried to intervene. I mean, this was something that repeatedly, unfortunately, she was a part of. I expect to see charges against others. And again, in the lawsuit that we filed a week ago, we named about 20 different defendants because we are done just going after the perpetrator.
When the news of P. Diddy's arrest and indictment was revealed, Dawn spoke through her attorney, Lisa Bloom. We applaud the grand jury's new indictment of Sean Combs, which is strikingly similar to the federal complaint we filed last week on behalf of our brave client, Dawn Richard. Given the brutal beating of Sean Combs' girlfriend caught on video and the 8 people who have now accused him of abuse in court filings, including Dawn, this arrest seems long overdue. Even though Sean Combs' lawyers have tried to discredit Dawn Richard, another member of her former band, Aubrey O'Day, has added even more strength to her claims in a lawsuit.
Even very early on where Diddy was making comments like, oh, now you're f***able, like you look right, I can f*** you now. And things like that, I don't even remember.
Another former member of Danity Kane has said that she feels validated that many people now see what she has been talking about for years. For almost 20 years, Aubrey has been openly expressing her feelings about Diddy Combs and his behavior around women, especially those who were working for him. In 2008, she had been removed from Danity Kane by Sean Diddy because she refused to cooperate with his propositions. He threatened her with her career, but Aubrey claims she chose freedom over money. However, the reason for her removal wasn't always known. In 2023, she finally revealed the reason P. Diddy had removed her from the group. She said that Combs had told her to sign an NDA to never ruin his reputation or engage in disparaging conversations about him. She refused to sign and was the only one who didn't out of all the members of Danity Kane.
Even very early on where Diddy was making comments like, oh, now you're f***able, like you look right, I can f*** you now. And things like that, I don't even remember.
Because of this, she was kicked out, and when she voiced out over the things that Sean Diddy Combs is now being accused of doing, she was dismissed about the abuse she faced and no one believed her. After Diddy's house was raided by federal agents, Aubrey once again voiced her opinion. She shared a headline about the raid to her Instagram story with the caption, "What you sow, you shall reap." She also wrote a caption on a video she shared. The video featured Tupac Shakur, once again making references to the accusations that P. Diddy was responsible for the murder of the legendary rapper. I pray this emboldens all of the US victims to finally speak out on what we endured. There is no too soon on this one, just too late. She would finally be vindicated after Sean Diddy was arrested in New York. She wrote on X, "The purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for women all over the world, not just me. Things are finally changing." When Aubrey O'Day expressed relief and validation over the world seeing what she had been saying for years, Whoopi Goldberg, who became recently aware of the situation, expressed discomfort and concern over the disturbing details.
The lubricant is not...
It ain't a crime, guys.
It ain't a crime.
Whoopi Goldberg and fellow hosts of The View came under a lot of heat and backlash from the public because of their apparent indifference to the gravity of the crimes that Sean Diddy was being charged with.
P. Diddy's arrest was last night.
Yeah.
His charging documents were unsealed right before we went on air, and they include sex trafficking, transporting to engage in prostitution, racketeering, conspiracy. His attorney says he will not plead guilty to all of them, but were you surprised at how extensive and disturbing the charges were?
A day after Diddy was arrested, Whoopi opened the day's episode by discussing the details surrounding the arrest of the mogul. Along with the details of his arrest, a 14-page indictment was unsealed and revealed to the public. As the matter was being discussed on The View, Whoopi provided her own opinion. She noted that the details included in the indictment were extensive and disturbing. They continued to discuss the matter, and the raid that was carried out on his home was mentioned. The show's legal expert, Sunny Hostin, talked about the items that were found.
They raided his homes and found 1,000 vials of lubricant.
Yep, and baby
They
oil.
raided his homes and they found narcotics.
In response to Hostin saying 1,000 bottles of baby oil were lubricant, Whoopi interjected with a joke.
That's not, the lubricant is not...
It ain't a crime, guys.
It ain't a crime.
She didn't complete her statement, but it seemed like she was trying to tell Hostin that baby oil wasn't lubricant. Another host, Alyssa Farrah Griffin, then said that it wasn't a crime to own baby oil, which Whoopi repeated. This caused the audience to laugh and the public to lash out. Under the X post that was made by The View, users had things to say. A user said, "Why would these people joke about this? Our society has gone to hell." Another user said, "So Whoopi's comment about lubricant was beyond me. She's horrible. She's making light of the situation." Despite this, Whoopi still expressed how disturbed she was about the details that the indictment covered. Where Whoopi seemingly joked about the situation, Charlemagne the God pointed out that Diddy would not be the only one going down for his crimes.
Like if you ever ran a train with Diddy, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah. Charlemagne the God is a popular radio show host who has always covered controversial topics about the giants in Hollywood. It was only expected that he would talk about the details surrounding Diddy's arrest. Charlemagne noted that Diddy would not go down without dragging many others down with him, considering that he didn't engage in those freak-offs alone. The indictment, although vague, listed co-workers, employees, and even other executives in P. Diddy's companies as accomplices in these freak-offs. The indictment documents said that employees and co-workers assisted in supplying items needed for these freak-offs. Charlemagne on his radio show seemed to be sending a warning to people who were Diddy's accomplices. Charlemagne said that if Diddy was eventually found guilty, particularly for racketeering and sex trafficking, there would be others going to jail as well.
That they seized from that house.
That's right.
You're probably going to jail when they start
Indeed,
throwing that word racketeering
as they
around.
should.
But we'll see what happens.
Hell, if you walked in a room and saw Diddy in there smashing Carl Winslow, allegedly.
What?
If you were walking in Diddy neighborhood, you should be put to jail. What are you doing in that neighborhood?
He also talked about how many people were liable, and they could easily be jailed if they had ever been unclad at any point with Diddy. In his words, if you've ever been butt naked anywhere with Diddy, and there were women around or men that he told you were a part of the party, you're probably going to jail. There have been many accusations and allegations over the years that seem to implicate other big moguls in Hollywood when it comes to the freak-offs that Diddy has had over the span of 16 years. So far, many other celebrities have not said anything about Diddy's arrest, but it's only a matter of time until they do. If found guilty, Diddy could be facing 15 years to life in prison for a range of crimes. Considering the accusations that he had something to do with the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, if taken seriously, he may also be facing murder charges. However, it has been revealed that Diddy has been denied a $50 million bail and is being kept in jail until trial. The downfall of a man like Sean Diddy Combs just goes to show that even the giants fall. As reaction to Sean P. Diddy Combs' arrest continue to pour in, the story is far from over. Stay tuned because the next video on screen reveals even more jaw-dropping moments and surprises you won't want to miss.